Chapter 1, Your Mind is the Battlefield. Every great victory begins long before anyone sees it. Before the trophy. Before the achievement. Before the breakthrough. Before the success. There is a battle. A silent battle. An invisible battle. A battle that takes place inside the mind. Most people believe their biggest obstacles exist outside of them. They blame circumstances. They blame bad luck. They blame difficult people. They blame limited opportunities. They blame the economy. They blame the world. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against yourself. The first battle is always in your mind. Before a person quits, they first convince themselves to quit. Before a person gives up, they first tell themselves a story about why giving up is acceptable. Before a person stops chasing a dream, they first allow doubt to take control. Everything begins in the mind. Every success. Every failure. Every act of courage. Every act of surrender. The first battle is always in your mind. Think about how many opportunities are lost every day because of fear. Not actual danger. Fear. Someone wants to start a business. But fear tells them they are not ready. Someone wants to speak in public. But fear tells them they might embarrass themselves. Someone wants to apply for a better job. But fear tells them they are not qualified. Someone wants to pursue a dream. But fear tells them they will probably fail. And so they never act. Nothing stops them except their own thoughts. Their prison exists entirely inside their mind. The first battle is always in your mind. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in human life. Not because it is always accurate, but because it feels convincing. Fear speaks with confidence. Fear sounds logical. Fear presents itself as protection. It tells you to stay comfortable. Stay safe. Stay hidden. Stay where you are. Avoid risk. Avoid uncertainty. Avoid discomfort. But what fear rarely tells you is this. Everything you want is often located on the other side of discomfort. Growth requires discomfort. Learning requires discomfort. Achievement requires discomfort. Transformation requires discomfort. The people who become mentally strong are not people who never feel fear. They are people who refuse to obey it. The first battle is always in your mind. Doubt is another enemy. Doubt has destroyed countless dreams. Not because those dreams were impossible. Because doubt convinced people not to try. Doubt whispers questions. What if you fail? What if people laugh? What if you're not good enough? What if you don't succeed? These questions seem harmless. But when repeated often enough, they become limitations. Eventually people stop asking what is possible. They start assuming what is impossible. And once that happens, they create invisible walls around their lives. The tragedy is that many of those walls are not real. They exist only in the mind. The first battle is always in your mind. Look at great athletes. Before they win championships, they must first believe they belong at that level. Before they step onto the field, court, or track, they must overcome internal doubts. The competition is not only physical. It is mental. An athlete who lacks confidence often loses before the contest begins. A confident athlete enters the arena already believing victory is possible. The same principle applies to every area of life. Business. Leadership. Relationships. Personal growth. Success often belongs to the person who wins the internal battle first. The first battle is always in your mind. Consider entrepreneurs. Many successful business owners started with uncertainty. They did not have guarantees. They did not have certainty. They did not know exactly how everything would work out. What they had was the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty. Most people wait until fear disappears before taking action. Mentally strong people understand that fear rarely disappears first. Action comes first. Confidence follows later. The person who waits to feel ready often waits forever. The person who acts despite uncertainty discovers strength they never knew existed. The first battle is always in your mind. Negative thinking creates another dangerous trap. Many people rehearse failure more than success. They imagine everything that could go wrong. They focus on worst-case scenarios. They expect disappointment. They predict failure. Then they wonder why confidence disappears. Your mind listens to what you repeatedly tell it. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are weak, eventually you begin acting weak. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are incapable, eventually you begin behaving as if you are incapable. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become destiny. This is why controlling your thoughts matters so much. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every fear deserves your belief. Not every doubt deserves your obedience. The first battle is always in your mind. Mentally unbreakable people understand something important. Thoughts are not commands. Thoughts are suggestions. You do not have to obey every thought that enters your mind. You can question it. Challenge it. Replace it. Ignore it. Observe it without accepting it. This is a skill. And like every skill, it improves through practice. A thought says, "You cannot do this." You answer, "Maybe I can." A thought says, "You will fail." You answer, "I will find out by trying." A thought says, "You're not ready." You answer, "Action will prepare me." This is mental strength. Not the absence of negative thoughts. The refusal to be controlled by them. The first battle is always in your mind. Many people spend years fighting external battles while neglecting internal ones. They try to change their circumstances. But they never change their mindset. They try to improve results. But they never improve their thinking. They try to build confidence. But they never challenge fear. As a result, the same patterns repeat. Because lasting change begins inside. Before you change your life, you must change your thinking. Before you conquer the world, you must conquer your mind. The first battle is always in your mind. Imagine two people facing the exact same challenge. One sees the challenge as proof they cannot succeed. The other sees the challenge as an opportunity to grow. The situation is identical. The difference is mental. One mindset creates surrender. The other creates resilience. One mindset creates excuses. The other creates solutions. One mindset creates weakness. The other creates strength. The battlefield is not the challenge itself. The battlefield is the interpretation of the challenge. The first battle is always in your mind. As you continue through this audiobook, remember this lesson. Mental strength does not begin with external victories. It begins with internal discipline. It begins with controlling your thoughts. Controlling your focus. Controlling your perspective. Controlling your response. Because life will test you. There will be setbacks. There will be criticism. There will be uncertainty. There will be failures. There will be moments when quitting seems easier. Those moments will reveal what is happening inside your mind. Will fear control you? Will doubt stop you? Will negative thinking define you? Or will you continue moving forward? That choice is yours. And it starts here. Because every achievement begins with an internal decision. Every transformation begins with a mental shift. Every breakthrough begins with a belief. And every victory begins with winning the battle that nobody else can see. The first battle is always in your mind. Win that battle, and you change everything. Chapter 2, Stop Expecting Life to Be Easy. There is a belief that quietly weakens millions of people. A belief so common that most people never question it. It is the belief that life should be easy. That things should go according to plan. That success should happen quickly. That hard work should always be rewarded immediately. That good people should never struggle. That effort should guarantee results. And when reality fails to meet these expectations, people become frustrated. They become angry. They become disappointed. They become discouraged. Many people are not defeated by difficulty. They are defeated by their expectation that difficulty should not exist. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. This may sound harsh, but it is one of the most liberating truths you will ever hear. Life is not supposed to be easy. Challenges are not mistakes. Obstacles are not unfair interruptions. Pain is not evidence that something has gone wrong. Difficulty is part of the human experience. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you stop fighting reality. And the sooner you stop fighting reality, the stronger you become. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Think about what happens when people expect comfort all the time. Every inconvenience feels like an attack. Every delay feels unbearable. Every setback feels catastrophic. Every criticism feels personal. Every challenge feels unfair. Because they have trained themselves to expect comfort. And comfort has made them fragile. A person who never expects hardship is shocked by hardship. A person who expects challenges is prepared for them. That preparation creates resilience. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Imagine two people walking the same road. The first person believes life should be smooth. The second person believes obstacles are inevitable. When problems appear, the first person complains. The second person adapts. When setbacks occur, the first person feels betrayed. The second person remains calm. When things become difficult, the first person looks for reasons to quit. The second person looks for ways to continue. The difference is not talent. The difference is expectation. One expected comfort. The other expected challenges. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Many people spend years asking the wrong question. They ask, why is this happening to me? Why is life so unfair? Why am I struggling? But mentally strong people ask different questions. What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What does this challenge require from me? One mindset creates victims. The other creates leaders. One mindset creates excuses. The other creates strength. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Look at the people you admire. The athletes. The entrepreneurs. The leaders. The innovators. The people who achieved extraordinary things. None of them reached success without difficulty. None of them avoided setbacks. None of them escaped failure. They all faced obstacles. They all experienced rejection. They all encountered disappointment. The difference is that they accepted hardship as part of the process. While others were complaining about the mountain, they were climbing it. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. There is a dangerous illusion in modern life. The illusion that comfort equals happiness. People spend years chasing convenience. They want everything faster. Easier. Simpler. More comfortable. But comfort rarely creates growth. Growth usually comes from challenge. Muscles grow through resistance. Skills grow through practice. Confidence grows through discomfort. Character grows through adversity. Everything valuable is developed through struggle. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Think about the strongest people you know. They were not shaped by easy times. They were shaped by difficult times. The hardships they endured taught them lessons. The failures they experienced taught them wisdom. The challenges they overcame taught them resilience. If life had always been easy, they would never have developed those strengths. The struggle became the teacher. The obstacle became the training ground. The difficulty became the gift. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Many people say they want success. But few people are willing to accept what success requires. Success requires patience. Success requires sacrifice. Success requires persistence. Success requires enduring uncertainty. Success requires continuing when progress is invisible. Most people love the idea of success. Few people love the process. And yet the process is where transformation happens. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Consider someone learning a new skill. At first they struggle. They make mistakes. They feel frustrated. They feel incompetent. If they expect learning to be easy, they quit. But if they expect difficulty, they continue. Because they understand that struggle is not failure. Struggle is progress. The discomfort is evidence that growth is taking place. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. The same principle applies to relationships. Relationships are difficult. Misunderstandings happen. Conflicts happen. Disappointments happen. People who expect perfect relationships become disillusioned. People who accept that relationships require effort become stronger partners. The expectation determines the response. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. The same is true in business. The same is true in health. The same is true in personal development. Nothing meaningful is achieved without effort. Nothing valuable is built without resistance. Nothing great is created without sacrifice. The sooner you stop expecting an easy path, the sooner you become capable of walking a difficult one. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Mentally weak people often spend their energy wishing reality were different. Mentally strong people spend their energy adapting to reality. One complains. The other prepares. One resists. The other accepts. One wastes energy. The other builds strength. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is clarity. It is seeing reality exactly as it is. And when you see reality clearly, you can respond effectively. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. There will be days when things do not go your way. Days when your plans fail. Days when people disappoint you. Days when progress feels impossible. Days when you question yourself. Days when quitting seems tempting. Those days are not exceptions. They are part of the journey. Expect them. Prepare for them. Learn from them. Grow through them. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. The strongest people are not those who avoid challenges. They are those who stop being surprised by challenges. They understand that difficulty is normal. Resistance is normal. Failure is normal. Struggle is normal. And because they accept these realities, they remain steady when others fall apart. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Today, make a decision. Stop expecting life to be easy. Stop expecting certainty. Stop expecting comfort. Stop expecting a path without obstacles. Instead, expect challenges. Expect setbacks. Expect resistance. Expect moments that test you. Then welcome them. Because every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. Every hardship is an opportunity to build resilience. And every difficult moment is training for the person you are becoming. Remember this whenever life becomes difficult. Remember this whenever things don't go according to plan. Remember this whenever frustration begins to rise. Life is hard. Accept it and become stronger. Because the moment you stop demanding an easy life is the moment you start building a powerful one. Chapter 3, Pain is not your enemy. There is one thing that almost every human being tries to avoid. Pain. People spend their lives running from it. They avoid discomfort. They avoid rejection. They avoid failure. They avoid difficult conversations. They avoid challenges. They avoid situations that might hurt. And yet, no matter how hard they try, pain always finds them. Because pain is part of life. No one escapes it. No amount of money can eliminate it. No amount of success can prevent it. No amount of intelligence can avoid it. Pain visits everyone. The question is not whether you will experience pain. The question is what you will do when it arrives. Pain can break you or build you. Most people see pain as punishment. They assume that if something hurts, something must be wrong. If they fail, they think life is against them. If they get rejected, they think they are not good enough. If they experience loss, they think their future is ruined. But mentally strong people see pain differently. They see pain as a teacher. They understand that pain often carries lessons that comfort never could. Pain can break you or build you. Think about physical exercise. When you train a muscle, you place it under stress. You challenge it. You push it beyond what is comfortable. In the moment, it feels difficult. Sometimes painful. But that discomfort is what creates growth. Without resistance, muscles remain weak. Without challenge, strength never develops. The same principle applies to the mind. Mental strength is built through resistance. Resilience is built through adversity. Character is built through struggle. Pain can break you or build you. Many of the lessons that define your life will come from difficult experiences. Not easy ones. Easy days are enjoyable. But difficult days are educational. The moments that test you are often the moments that shape you. The setbacks. The failures. The heartbreaks. The disappointments. The losses. Those experiences force you to grow in ways comfort never can. Pain can break you or build you. Consider rejection. Few experiences hurt more than being told no. A job application rejected. A business proposal declined. A dream opportunity given to someone else. A relationship that doesn't work out. Rejection can feel personal. It can make you question your value. It can make you doubt yourself. It can make you want to quit. But rejection also teaches powerful lessons. It teaches resilience. It teaches persistence. It teaches humility. It teaches adaptation. Most importantly, it teaches you how to continue moving forward when things don't go your way. Pain can break you or build you. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Many of them experienced repeated failure before achieving success. They faced criticism. They faced setbacks. They faced rejection. Again and again. Yet those experiences became part of their strength. The adversity they endured prepared them for the success that eventually arrived. Without the struggle, they would not have become the people they needed to be. Pain can break you or build you. Emotional pain often works the same way. When someone hurts you. When someone disappoints you. When trust is broken. When expectations collapse. The pain feels overwhelming. In those moments, it is easy to focus only on what was lost. But emotional pain often reveals important truths. It reveals your priorities. It reveals your values. It reveals your weaknesses. It reveals your strength. It teaches you what matters. It teaches you what doesn't. Pain can break you or build you. The problem is that many people waste their pain. They suffer without learning. They struggle without growing. They experience setbacks but never ask what those setbacks can teach them. As a result, the pain remains only pain. But mentally strong people ask different questions. What is this experience trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Those questions transform suffering into wisdom. Pain can break you or build you. Every challenge contains a lesson. Failure teaches preparation. Rejection teaches resilience. Loss teaches gratitude. Disappointment teaches patience. Difficulty teaches perseverance. Struggle teaches strength. The lesson may not be obvious immediately. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years. But if you look closely enough, pain often leaves behind wisdom. Pain can break you or build you. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that strength comes from avoiding hardship. The opposite is true. Strength comes from surviving hardship. Strength comes from enduring difficulty. Strength comes from continuing when everything inside you wants to quit. Nobody develops courage without fear. Nobody develops resilience without adversity. Nobody develops perseverance without struggle. The qualities that make people mentally unbreakable are forged in difficult moments. Pain can break you or build you. Imagine a piece of steel. To become stronger, it must endure extreme heat, pressure, resistance. Without those conditions, it remains ordinary. Human beings are similar. The challenges you face today may be preparing you for responsibilities you cannot yet see. The obstacles may be building capacities you will need later. The pain may be creating strength for future battles. Pain can break you or build you. This does not mean you should enjoy suffering. It does not mean you should seek pain. It means you should stop viewing pain as your enemy. Pain is information. Pain is feedback. Pain is a signal. Sometimes it tells you to change direction. Sometimes it tells you to grow. Sometimes it reveals areas that need improvement. Sometimes it shows you strengths you never knew you possessed. Pain can break you or build you. The difference is how you respond. Some people become bitter. Others become better. Some become victims. Others become stronger. Some allow pain to define them. Others allow pain to develop them. The same experience can produce completely different outcomes. Everything depends on the response. Pain can break you or build you. There will be moments in your life when things fall apart. Moments when plans fail. Moments when dreams seem impossible. Moments when disappointment feels overwhelming. Moments when you wonder if you can continue. Those moments are not the end of your story. They are part of your development. They are opportunities to discover who you truly are. Pain can break you or build you. The next time life hurts, remember this lesson. Do not immediately ask why the pain exists. Ask what it can teach you. Do not focus only on what was lost. Focus on what can be gained. Do not allow pain to become an excuse. Allow it to become fuel. Because every challenge contains the potential for growth. Every hardship contains the potential for wisdom. Every setback contains the potential for strength. And every painful experience contains the opportunity to become someone stronger than you were before. Remember these words whenever adversity arrives. Remember them when rejection appears. Remember them when failure visits. Remember them when life becomes difficult. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. And every lesson it brings can either weaken you or strengthen you. The choice is yours. Because pain can break you or build you. Choose to let it build you. Chapter 4, Control your emotions before they control you. One of the biggest myths about mental strength is that strong people do not feel emotions. They do. They feel fear. They feel anger. They feel frustration. They feel disappointment. They feel anxiety. They feel sadness. They feel everything that everyone else feels. The difference is not what they feel. The difference is what they do with those feelings. Mentally weak people are controlled by their emotions. Mentally strong people learn to control their emotions. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Most people spend their lives reacting. Someone criticizes them, and they react. Something goes wrong, and they react. Someone insults them, and they react. A problem appears, and they react. An inconvenience occurs, and they react. Their emotions become the driver of their actions. Their feelings determine their decisions. Their moods control their behavior. As a result, their lives become unpredictable. Because emotions change constantly. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Think about anger. Anger itself is not the problem. Anger is a natural human emotion. The problem is what happens when anger takes control. A single moment of uncontrolled anger can destroy a relationship, damage a reputation, end an opportunity, create regret that lasts for years. Many people have lost something valuable because they allowed a temporary emotion to create a permanent consequence. The emotion was not the enemy. The lack of control was. Feel everything. Obey nothing. The same is true for fear. Fear can protect you from genuine danger. But fear can also stop you from becoming who you are capable of becoming. Fear says, don't take the risk. Don't speak up. Don't try. Don't start. Don't believe. Don't move. And if you obey fear every time it speaks, your life becomes smaller and smaller. Not because you lack ability. Because fear became your leader. Feel everything. Obey nothing. The same principle applies to anxiety. Anxiety often focuses on things that have not happened yet. It imagines worst-case scenarios. It predicts disasters. It creates problems that may never exist. Many people suffer more in their imagination than they do in reality. Their emotions convince them that catastrophe is around every corner. And because they believe those emotions completely, they stop taking action. They stop growing. They stop moving forward. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Mental strength begins when you realize something important. An emotion is information. It is not a command. You can feel fear without surrendering to it. You can feel anger without acting on it. You can feel sadness without giving up. You can feel anxiety without stopping. You can acknowledge an emotion without allowing it to control your behavior. This is emotional mastery. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Imagine you are driving a car. Your emotions are passengers. Sometimes they are quiet. Sometimes they are loud. Sometimes they are helpful. Sometimes they are distracting. But no matter how loud they become, they should never be allowed to grab the steering wheel. The moment emotions take control, the journey becomes dangerous. Your emotions belong in the car. But they do not belong in the driver's seat. Feel everything. Obey nothing. One of the greatest skills you can develop is the ability to pause. Most people react immediately. They speak immediately. They decide immediately. They respond immediately. And later they regret it. Mentally strong people create space between emotion and action. When they are angry, they pause. When they are afraid, they pause. When they are frustrated, they pause. That pause creates power. Because in that moment, they stop reacting and start choosing. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Life will constantly test your emotional control. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Unexpected problems will appear. Criticism will arrive. Mistakes will happen. The question is not whether these things will occur. They will. The question is whether you will allow them to control your behavior. Anyone can stay calm when everything is going well. Mental strength is revealed when everything is not. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Think about great leaders. In moments of crisis, people look to them for stability. Imagine a leader who panics every time a problem appears. A leader who becomes angry every time something goes wrong. A leader who loses control under pressure. People would lose confidence immediately. The greatest leaders remain calm when others panic. Not because they feel no fear. Because they control their response to fear. Feel everything. Obey nothing. The same principle applies to your personal life. If your emotions control you, then other people can control you. A rude comment ruins your day. A criticism destroys your confidence. A rejection changes your direction. Someone else's opinion determines your mood. Someone else's behavior determines your actions. That is not freedom. That is emotional dependence. Mentally unbreakable people refuse to hand that power to others. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Emotional control does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean suppressing feelings. It does not mean pretending emotions do not exist. It means acknowledging emotions honestly while choosing actions deliberately. You can feel hurt and still act with kindness. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can feel discouraged and still continue. You can feel uncertain and still take action. That is true strength. Feel everything. Obey nothing. One reason people struggle with emotional control is because they seek immediate relief. When stress appears, they seek comfort. When discomfort appears, they seek escape. When pain appears, they seek distraction. They want to feel better right now. But mentally strong people focus on what serves them long term. Sometimes the right choice feels uncomfortable. Sometimes discipline feels harder than comfort. Sometimes growth feels harder than avoidance. But they choose it anyway. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Remember this. Your emotions are temporary. Every emotion passes. The fear passes. The anger passes. The frustration passes. The sadness passes. The anxiety passes. No emotional state lasts forever. If you can remain steady during emotional storms, eventually the storm moves on. But if you make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, the consequences can last far longer than the feeling itself. Feel everything. Obey nothing. There will be moments when life tests you. Moments when people provoke you. Moments when fear whispers in your ear. Moments when frustration feels overwhelming. Moments when emotions demand immediate action. Those moments are opportunities. Opportunities to practice self-control. Opportunities to build resilience. Opportunities to strengthen your character. Because every time you choose discipline over reaction, you become stronger. Every time you choose patience over anger, you become stronger. Every time you choose courage over fear, you become stronger. Every time you choose wisdom over impulse, you become stronger. Feel everything. Obey nothing. As you continue your journey toward becoming mentally unbreakable, remember this truth. You cannot always control what happens to you. You cannot always control other people. You cannot always control circumstances. But you can always work on controlling your response. And that response determines the quality of your life. Because the strongest person in the room is not always the loudest. Not always the smartest. Not always the most talented. Often, the strongest person is the one who remains calm when others lose control. The one who remains focused when others panic. The one who remains disciplined when emotions demand surrender. That is emotional mastery. That is mental strength. And that is how you become mentally unbreakable. Feel everything. Obey nothing. Chapter 5, Rejection is a Test of Strength. There are few experiences more painful than rejection. Being told no. Being overlooked. Being ignored. Being passed over. Being dismissed. Being told that what you offered was not wanted. Rejection hurts. It hurts because human beings naturally want acceptance. We want approval. We want recognition. We want to belong. And when rejection arrives, it often feels personal. It feels like a judgment. A verdict. A statement about our worth. But mentally unbreakable people understand something that most people never learn. Rejection is not destruction. Rejection is a test of strength. The problem is not rejection itself. The problem is the meaning people attach to it. Someone applies for a job and gets rejected. Immediately they think, I'm not good enough. Someone asks for an opportunity and hears no. Immediately they think, I'll never succeed. Someone starts a business and faces rejection from customers. Immediately they think, maybe I should quit. Notice what happens. The rejection lasts a moment. But the story they tell themselves afterward lasts much longer. Often, the pain comes less from the rejection itself and more from the interpretation. Rejection is a test of strength. Every successful person has faced rejection. Every entrepreneur. Every athlete. Every leader. Every creator. Every performer. Every person who achieved something meaningful. At some point, someone told them no. At some point, someone doubted them. At some point, someone rejected their ideas. At some point, someone refused to believe in them. The difference is that they did not allow rejection to become their identity. They treated it as feedback. As information. As part of the journey. Rejection is a test of strength. Imagine if every successful person had quit after their first rejection. How many dreams would have died? How many businesses would never exist? How many achievements would never happen? How many lives would never change? The world is full of people who succeeded because they continued after rejection. Not because they avoided it. Because they survived it. Rejection is a test of strength. Most people fear rejection so much that they never even try. They avoid opportunities. Avoid conversations. Avoid risks. Avoid challenges. Not because they are incapable. Because they are afraid of hearing no. Think about how much potential is lost because of this fear. How many businesses never start? How many books are never written? How many opportunities are never pursued? How many dreams never leave the imagination? Fear of rejection often creates a prison far more limiting than rejection itself. Rejection is a test of strength. One of the greatest shifts you can make is understanding that rejection is not always personal. Sometimes you are rejected because the timing is wrong. Sometimes because the fit is wrong. Sometimes because circumstances are different than you realize. Sometimes because another person has preferences that have nothing to do with your value. Yet many people interpret every rejection as proof of inadequacy. They confuse a single outcome with their entire identity. That is a dangerous mistake. Rejection is a test of strength. A job rejection does not mean you are worthless. A business rejection does not mean your idea is worthless. A relationship rejection does not mean you are unlovable. A failed attempt does not mean you are a failure. One event cannot define an entire person. Only repeated surrender can do that. Rejection is a test of strength. Mentally strong people ask different questions after rejection. Instead of asking, "Why am I not good enough?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of asking, "Why does this always happen to me?" they ask, "How can I improve?" Instead of focusing on the pain alone, they focus on growth. Because growth transforms rejection into fuel. Rejection is a test of strength. Consider an athlete. They lose a competition. They face criticism. They experience disappointment. What happens next determines everything. One athlete uses the loss as an excuse. Another uses it as motivation. One becomes discouraged. The other becomes determined. One quits. The other trains harder. The rejection is the same. The response is different. And the response determines the outcome. Rejection is a test of strength. Life will not always reward you immediately. Sometimes you will do everything right and still hear no. You will work hard and still be overlooked. You will prepare and still fall short. You will give your best and still face disappointment. That does not mean your effort was wasted. It means you are experiencing reality. And reality often includes rejection. Rejection is a test of strength. The strongest people are not those who never get rejected. They are those who stop being afraid of rejection. They understand that rejection is temporary. Growth is permanent. A no today does not mean no forever. A setback today does not mean defeat forever. A closed door today does not mean every door will remain closed. Mentally unbreakable people keep knocking. Rejection is a test of strength. Another important lesson is this. Sometimes rejection is protection. There are opportunities you desperately wanted that would have harmed you. There are situations you wanted to enter that would have limited you. There are paths you wanted to follow that would have led you away from your purpose. You may not realize it immediately. But sometimes the rejection that disappoints you today creates the opportunity that transforms your life tomorrow. Rejection is a test of strength. Strength is not built when everything goes your way. Strength is built when things don't. Anyone can feel confident after success. Anyone can feel motivated after praise. Anyone can feel strong when life is easy. But can you remain committed when you are rejected? Can you keep going when people doubt you? Can you continue building when nobody believes in your vision? That is where true strength is revealed. Rejection is a test of strength. The people who eventually win are often not the most talented. Not the smartest. Not the luckiest. They are the most persistent. The ones who continue after disappointment. The ones who continue after criticism. The ones who continue after rejection. Again and again. While others stop, they continue. While others surrender, they persist. While others quit, they keep moving. Rejection is a test of strength. As you continue your journey toward becoming mentally unbreakable, understand this. Rejection is not your enemy. Avoidance is. Fear is. Surrender is. The goal is not to avoid rejection. The goal is to become strong enough that rejection no longer controls you. Strong enough to hear no and continue. Strong enough to face criticism and continue. Strong enough to experience disappointment and continue. Strong enough to keep moving regardless of circumstances. Because every rejection is asking the same question. How badly do you want this? And your response determines your future. Will you stop? Or will you continue? Will you surrender? Or will you grow stronger? Remember this whenever rejection appears. Remember this whenever someone says no. Remember this whenever life closes a door. Rejection is not the end of the journey. It is part of the training. It is part of the process. It is part of becoming mentally unbreakable. Because rejection is a test of strength. And every time you refuse to quit, you pass the test. Chapter 6. Stop needing everyone to believe in you. One of the biggest obstacles to mental strength is not failure. It is not rejection. It is not fear. It is the constant need for approval. The need for people to agree with you. The need for people to support you. The need for people to validate your choices. The need for everyone to believe in your vision before you believe in it yourself. And that need has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. Because when you depend on external belief, your confidence becomes fragile. It rises when people praise you. It falls when people criticize you. It grows when people support you. It disappears when people doubt you. That is not strength. That is dependence. Mentally unbreakable people learn a different lesson. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. Think about every person who has ever accomplished something extraordinary. At some point, they were doubted. At some point, people questioned them. At some point, someone told them it could not be done. At some point, someone laughed at their goals. At some point, someone called them unrealistic. At some point, someone predicted their failure. That is not unusual. That is normal. Whenever you try something different, people will doubt you. Whenever you pursue a goal that seems difficult, people will doubt you. Whenever you step outside the ordinary, people will doubt you. You do not need everyone to believe in you. Many people spend years waiting for validation. Waiting for permission. Waiting for support. Waiting for someone to tell them they are ready. Waiting for someone to confirm that their dream is possible. And while they wait, life passes. Opportunities disappear. Potential remains unused. Because they have made the mistake of allowing other people's opinions to become the deciding factor in their lives. But what if those people are wrong? What if their doubts have more to do with their limitations than yours? What if their fears are not your future? You do not need everyone to believe in you. The truth is that most people will not understand your vision in the beginning. How could they? They cannot see what you see. They cannot feel what you feel. They cannot hear the voice inside you that says you are capable of more. People judge based on current results. They judge based on what exists today. But dreams are about what does not exist yet. Visions are about possibilities. Goals are about creating something before anyone else can see it. That is why waiting for universal approval is a mistake. You do not need everyone to believe in you. Imagine planting a seed. The moment you place it in the ground, nobody sees the future tree. Nobody sees the future branches. Nobody sees the future fruit. All they see is dirt. But the person planting the seed understands something others do not. Growth is happening beneath the surface. The same is true for your goals. The same is true for your future. The same is true for your potential. Not everyone will see it immediately. That does not mean it is not real. You do not need everyone to believe in you. One of the hardest moments in life is pursuing something when nobody else understands. When your friends doubt you. When your family questions you. When your coworkers laugh at you. When people tell you to be realistic. When people suggest you lower your expectations. Those moments test your character. Those moments reveal your strength. Because anyone can continue when everyone is cheering. Anyone can continue when everyone approves. Anyone can continue when everyone supports them. But can you continue when they don't? Can you keep moving when nobody claps? Can you keep building when nobody notices? Can you keep believing when nobody else does? You do not need everyone to believe in you. The strongest confidence comes from evidence you create yourself. Not from praise. Not from compliments. Not from approval. But from promises you keep to yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, confidence grows. Every time you stay disciplined, confidence grows. Every time you keep moving despite doubt, confidence grows. Every time you honor your commitments, confidence grows. Because real confidence is earned, not given. You do not need everyone to believe in you. Many people misunderstand confidence. They think confidence means never doubting yourself. That is not true. Even strong people experience doubt. Even successful people experience uncertainty. Even courageous people experience fear. The difference is that they act anyway. They do not wait for perfect certainty. They do not wait for complete confidence. They move forward despite discomfort. Because confidence often comes after action, not before it. You do not need everyone to believe in you. There will be people who underestimate you. Let them. There will be people who misunderstand you. Let them. There will be people who criticize your goals. Let them. There will be people who expect you to fail. Let them. Their opinions do not determine your future. Your actions do. Too many people give strangers power over their lives. One negative comment ruins their motivation. One criticism destroys their confidence. One person's doubt becomes their excuse to quit. Do not hand over that power. You do not need everyone to believe in you. One of the most freeing realizations in life is understanding that approval is optional. You do not need universal agreement. You do not need everyone to understand. You do not need everyone to support you. You do not need everyone to like you. You simply need the courage to continue. The courage to keep building. The courage to keep improving. The courage to stay committed. The courage to trust your path. You do not need everyone to believe in you. History is filled with people who succeeded long before others believed in them. Before the recognition came. Before the success came. Before the applause came. There was effort. There was persistence. There was sacrifice. There was belief. And that belief came from within. Not from the crowd. Not from public opinion. Not from approval. From conviction. You do not need everyone to believe in you. The crowd is often late. People often support success after it becomes visible. They celebrate the result. But they were absent during the struggle. Absent during the sacrifice. Absent during the uncertainty. Absent during the difficult days. That is why your commitment cannot depend on applause. Applause is unpredictable. Purpose is not. You do not need everyone to believe in you. If your dream matters, pursue it. If your goal inspires you, pursue it. If your vision excites you, pursue it. Not because everyone agrees. Not because everyone understands. Not because everyone supports you. But because you know it matters. The world will always have doubters. The world will always have critics. The world will always have people who project their fears onto others. Do not let their limitations become your limitations. You do not need everyone to believe in you. As you continue becoming mentally unbreakable, remember this. Some of the most important journeys in your life will begin alone. Some of the biggest decisions you make will not be popular. Some of your greatest opportunities will appear before anyone else recognizes them. And in those moments, your ability to trust yourself becomes everything. Not arrogance. Not ego. Trust. The quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you are working toward. Because mentally unbreakable people understand a simple truth. The opinions of others are temporary. Your commitment must be permanent. The doubts of others are temporary. Your purpose must be permanent. The criticism of others is temporary. Your discipline must be permanent. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You only need enough courage to keep going until your actions speak louder than their doubts. And when that day comes, you will realize something powerful. The approval you spent years chasing was never the thing you needed. What you needed was belief in yourself. And that belief becomes stronger every single time you continue despite the doubts. Because mentally unbreakable people do not wait for permission. They do not wait for validation. They do not wait for the world to believe in them. They believe in themselves. And then they get to work.
Chapter 7. Become addicted to discipline. There is one trait that separates dreamers from achievers. One trait that separates potential from results. One trait that separates those who quit from those who endure. It is not talent. It is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is discipline. And if you want to become mentally unbreakable, you must learn one life-changing lesson. Become addicted to discipline. Most people are addicted to comfort. They do what feels good. They do what feels easy. They do what feels convenient. They follow their mood. They follow their emotions. They follow their motivation. And when motivation disappears, so does their effort. Their goals remain unfinished. Their promises remain broken. Their potential remains unrealized. Because they built their life on feelings. Mentally unbreakable people build their lives on discipline. Become addicted to discipline. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is reliable. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Motivation depends on how you feel. Discipline depends on what you decide. Some mornings you will feel motivated. Many mornings you will not. Some days you will feel confident. Many days you will not. Some moments you will feel unstoppable. Many moments you will not. The question is simple. Will you only act when you feel like it? Or will you act because you made a commitment? Become addicted to discipline. Discipline means keeping promises to yourself. Not occasionally. Not when it is easy. Not when people are watching. Every day. Especially when nobody is watching. Especially when it is difficult. Especially when excuses are available. Because character is revealed in private. Anyone can appear disciplined when conditions are perfect. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Anyone can stay focused when everything is going well. But can you remain committed when life becomes difficult? That is where discipline is built. Become addicted to discipline. Every mentally strong person understands a simple truth. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Not one perfect day. Not one heroic effort. Not one burst of motivation. Consistency. Day after day. Week after week. Month after month. Year after year. The strongest minds are built one disciplined decision at a time. Become addicted to discipline. Think about physical fitness. Nobody becomes strong after one workout. Nobody transforms their body after one visit to the gym. Strength is built through repetition. The same principle applies to mental strength. Every time you do something difficult, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you resist an excuse, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you follow through on a commitment, your mind becomes stronger. Every disciplined action is another repetition for your character. Become addicted to discipline. The reason discipline feels difficult is because comfort is seductive. Comfort whispers, stay in bed, skip the workout, avoid the challenge. Do it tomorrow. Take the easy path. Nobody will know. But every time you listen to comfort, you weaken your trust in yourself. You teach yourself that your promises are negotiable. You teach yourself that excuses are acceptable. You teach yourself that quitting is an option. Mentally unbreakable people refuse to learn those lessons. Become addicted to discipline. One disciplined decision may seem insignificant. One early morning. One completed workout. One extra hour of focused work. One difficult conversation. One healthy choice. One promise kept. It seems small. But strength is built through accumulation. The person you become is the result of thousands of small decisions. Not one giant moment. Become addicted to discipline. Many people wait until they feel ready. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until they feel motivated. They wait until conditions improve. They wait until fear disappears. And while they wait, disciplined people are making progress. Discipline acts. Comfort waits. Discipline moves. Comfort delays. Discipline creates. Comfort consumes. The choice determines your future. Become addicted to discipline. There will be days when discipline feels unfair. Days when others appear to have it easier. Days when you feel tired. Days when you feel discouraged. Days when nobody notices your effort. Days when results seem invisible. Those are the days that matter most. Because discipline is not tested when life is easy. Discipline is tested when life is hard. Anyone can continue when success is immediate. Can you continue when results are delayed? Can you continue when nobody applauds? Can you continue when progress is slow? That is where mental toughness is created. Become addicted to discipline. One of the greatest benefits of discipline is confidence. Not the confidence that comes from compliments. Not the confidence that comes from approval. Real confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing you can trust yourself. When you repeatedly keep your promises, something changes. You stop doubting yourself. You stop questioning your ability. You stop depending on external validation. Because your actions provide proof. Proof that you are reliable. Proof that you are committed. Proof that you are capable. Become addicted to discipline. The world rewards disciplined people. Not immediately, but eventually. Because discipline compounds. One day of effort may seem insignificant. 1 week may not change much. 1 month may feel slow. But years of discipline create extraordinary transformation. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish through consistency. They focus on dramatic changes. Disciplined people focus on daily actions. And daily actions eventually create dramatic changes. Become addicted to discipline. There is another reason discipline is powerful. It gives you control. Life will always contain uncertainty. There will be setbacks, disappointments, failures, unexpected obstacles. You cannot control everything, but you can control your habits. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control your actions. And that control creates stability even during chaos. Become addicted to discipline. The strongest people are not always the most talented. They are often the most consistent. They continue when others stop. They persist when others quit. They work when others procrastinate. They stay focused when others become distracted. Their advantage is rarely talent alone. Their advantage is discipline. Day after day, year after year. Become addicted to discipline. Imagine two people with equal potential. One follows feelings. The other follows discipline. One acts when motivated. The other acts regardless of mood. One quits when things become uncomfortable. The other continues despite discomfort. Give them enough time. The difference becomes enormous. Because discipline creates momentum. And momentum creates results. Become addicted to discipline. As you continue becoming mentally unbreakable, remember this. Your future is not determined by your intentions. It is determined by your actions. Not what you hope to do. Not what you plan to do. Not what you wish to do. What you consistently do. Every day. Again and again. That is where transformation lives. Become addicted to discipline. Wake up and do the work. Show up and do the work. Stay focused and do the work. Keep your promises and do the work. Not because you feel like it. Not because it is easy. Not because someone is watching. Because that is who you choose to become. A person whose actions are stronger than excuses. A person whose commitment is stronger than comfort. A person whose discipline is stronger than emotions. A person whose mindset cannot be broken. Because mentally unbreakable people understand a truth that most people never learn. Motivation starts the journey. Discipline finishes it. And every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over temporary pleasure, you become stronger. Until one day, discipline is no longer something you do. It becomes who you are. And that is the moment your mind begins to become truly unbreakable. Become addicted to discipline.
Chapter 8: Failure is Feedback. Few words create more fear than the word failure. People avoid it, fear it, run from it, hide from it, and sometimes allow the possibility of failure to stop them from trying altogether. They would rather remain comfortable than risk failing. They would rather stay where they are than face the possibility of disappointment. But mentally unbreakable people see failure differently. They understand a truth that changes everything. Failure is feedback. The moment you understand this lesson, failure loses much of its power over you. Because failure is no longer proof that you are incapable. It becomes information. It becomes instruction. It becomes guidance. It becomes a teacher. Failure is feedback. Most people treat failure like a final verdict. They fail once and decide they are not talented enough. They fail once and decide they are not smart enough. They fail once and decide they are not capable enough. One setback becomes a permanent label. One mistake becomes an identity. One loss becomes a life sentence. But that is not reality. That is fear speaking. Failure is feedback. Imagine learning to walk. As a child, you fell over and over again. You stumbled. You lost your balance. You hit the ground. Yet nobody looked at a child falling and concluded they would never learn to walk. Why? Because falling was understood to be part of the learning process. The same principle applies throughout life. Every skill requires mistakes. Every goal requires setbacks. Every achievement requires learning. And learning requires failure. Failure is feedback. The problem is not failure. The problem is how people interpret failure. When many people fail, they focus on emotion. Embarrassment. Disappointment. Frustration. Shame. While those emotions are natural, they often distract from the lesson. The mentally strong person asks a different question. What is this experience trying to teach me? Failure is feedback. Every failure contains information. Information about what worked. Information about what didn't. Information about weaknesses. Information about blind spots. Information about areas that require improvement. If you are willing to learn, failure becomes valuable. Sometimes more valuable than success. Because success often confirms what you already know. Failure reveals what you need to know. Failure is feedback. Think about the strongest people you know. The most successful. The most respected. The most accomplished. Behind every achievement is a collection of failures. Missed opportunities. Bad decisions. Rejected ideas. Disappointing outcomes. Difficult lessons. What made them successful was not avoiding failure. It was learning from it. Again and again. Failure is feedback. Many people quit too early. They experience one setback and assume the journey is over. One rejection. One loss. One mistake. One disappointing result. And they walk away. Not because success was impossible. Because they misunderstood failure. They thought failure meant stop. In reality, failure often means adjust. Failure is feedback. Imagine a pilot flying across the ocean. The plane does not travel in a perfect straight line. Wind pushes it off course. Weather shifts its direction. Small corrections happen constantly. The pilot does not panic every time the plane moves slightly off course. The pilot simply adjusts. Your life works the same way. Your goals work the same way. Failure often means you need a correction, not a surrender. Failure is feedback. One of the greatest mental shifts you can make is separating your identity from your results. You failed. That does not make you a failure. You made a mistake. That does not make you a mistake. You experienced a setback. That does not mean you are permanently defeated. Events happen. Outcomes happen. Results happen. But they do not define who you are. Only your response defines who you become. Failure is feedback. Mentally unbreakable people are willing to look directly at their mistakes. Not to punish themselves. Not to shame themselves. To learn. Because improvement requires honesty. You cannot fix what you refuse to examine. You cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. Growth begins the moment excuses end. Failure is feedback. Sometimes failure reveals a lack of preparation. Sometimes it reveals a lack of patience. Sometimes it reveals a lack of skill. Sometimes it reveals the wrong strategy. Sometimes it reveals weaknesses you did not know existed. Good. That information is valuable. Now you know what needs attention. Now you know what requires improvement. Now you have a direction. Failure is feedback. The strongest people are not those who avoid mistakes. They are those who recover quickly. They learn quickly. They adapt quickly. While others are trapped in regret, they are already improving. While others are focused on blame, they are focused on growth. While others are complaining, they are learning. And learning creates progress. Failure is feedback. There will be moments when failure feels painful. Moments when your confidence is shaken. Moments when your effort seems wasted. Moments when disappointment feels overwhelming. That is normal. You are human. But do not stay there. Feel the disappointment. Then study the lesson. Feel the frustration. Then make adjustments. Feel the pain. Then move forward. Failure is feedback. The danger is not failing. The danger is refusing to learn. Some people repeat the same mistakes for years. Not because they lack ability. Because they refuse to examine their actions. They protect their ego instead of pursuing growth. And growth always requires humility. The humility to admit mistakes. The humility to improve. The humility to start again. Failure is feedback. Success is rarely a straight path. It is usually a series of lessons. A series of corrections. A series of improvements. A series of failures transformed into wisdom. What appears to be overnight success is often years of invisible learning. Years of mistakes. Years of persistence. Years of growth. Failure is feedback. As you continue becoming mentally unbreakable, understand this. Every setback contains value. Every mistake contains information. Every disappointment contains a lesson. Every failure contains guidance. If you're willing to learn. The question is never whether failure will visit your life. It will. The question is what you will do when it arrives. Will you allow it to break you? Or will you allow it to teach you? Failure is feedback. Remember that phrase. Repeat it whenever things go wrong. Repeat it whenever plans fall apart. Repeat it whenever disappointment arrives. Failure is feedback. Because that single mindset transforms adversity into education. It transforms mistakes into growth. It transforms setbacks into stepping stones. It transforms obstacles into opportunities. And most importantly, it transforms you. The person who learns from failure becomes stronger than the person who avoids it. The person who studies failure becomes wiser than the person who fears it. The person who embraces failure becomes more resilient than the person who runs from it. That is why mentally unbreakable people do not see failure as the end. They see it as part of the process, part of the training, part of the journey. Because every failure carries a message. Every failure carries a lesson. Every failure carries an opportunity. And those who listen eventually discover something extraordinary. Failure was never standing in the way. Failure was showing the way. Failure is feedback. And every lesson learned makes you stronger than before. Chapter 9, Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Everything you have learned so far leads to this chapter. Controlling your thoughts. Accepting difficulty. Learning from pain. Mastering your emotions. Facing rejection. Ignoring validation. Trusting discipline. Learning from failure. All of those lessons point toward one ultimate goal. Building an identity that cannot be shaken. Because the strongest form of confidence is not based on success. The strongest form of confidence is based on identity. And when your identity is strong, life loses its ability to control you. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Most people build their identity on unstable foundations. They build it on money, status, popularity, achievements, appearance, the opinions of others. The problem is simple. Anything that can be taken away should never become the foundation of who you are. Money can disappear. Status can disappear. Recognition can disappear. Relationships can change. Success can fade. Public opinion can shift overnight. If your identity depends on those things, your confidence becomes fragile. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Many people feel strong when life is going well. But what happens when things go wrong? What happens when they lose the job? What happens when the business struggles? What happens when criticism appears? What happens when failure arrives? Suddenly their entire sense of self begins to collapse. Not because they lost something. Because they became something they lost. Their identity was attached to circumstances. And circumstances always change. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Mentally unbreakable people understand a different truth. They do not define themselves by outcomes. They define themselves by values. By character. By principles. By standards. By who they choose to be regardless of circumstances. That kind of identity remains stable. Even during chaos. Even during failure. Even during uncertainty. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Imagine two people facing the same setback. Both lose a major opportunity. The first person thinks, I failed. The second person thinks, I am someone who learns and adapts. The event is identical. The identities are different. And because the identities are different, the responses become different. One gives up. One grows stronger. One collapses. One continues. Identity determines behavior. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. The question is not simply, what do I want to achieve? The deeper question is, who do I want to become? Do you want to become someone who keeps promises? Someone who remains calm under pressure? Someone who acts with courage despite fear? Someone who stays disciplined despite discomfort? Someone who refuses to quit? Those are identities. And identities shape actions. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Most people focus only on goals. Goals are important. But goals alone are temporary. Once a goal is achieved, it ends. Identity lasts. A goal says, I want to run a marathon. An identity says, I am a person who trains consistently. A goal says, I want to build a business. An identity says, I am a person who creates value and persists through challenges. A goal says, I want to become mentally strong. An identity says, I am a person who faces difficulty instead of avoiding it. Notice the difference. Identity creates permanence. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Every action you take casts a vote for the person you are becoming. Every decision matters. Every habit matters. Every promise matters. Every challenge matters. When you act with discipline, you reinforce the identity of a disciplined person. When you act with courage, you reinforce the identity of a courageous person. When you persist through adversity, you reinforce the identity of a resilient person. The more evidence you create, the stronger your identity becomes. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. One reason people struggle is because they allow temporary failures to rewrite their identity. They fail once and decide they are failures. They make a mistake and decide they are incapable. They face rejection and decide they are unworthy. But identity should never be based on isolated events. One mistake does not define you. One loss does not define you. One setback does not define you. What defines you is the pattern of choices you make over time. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Mentally unbreakable people understand that life will always contain uncertainty. But uncertainty does not have to create instability. Because their confidence comes from who they are, not what happens to them. They know that challenges may come. But they also know they can handle challenges. They know failure may visit. But they also know they can learn from failure. They know criticism may appear. But they also know criticism cannot define them. That confidence comes from identity. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Ask yourself, who are you when nobody is watching? Who are you when life becomes difficult? Who are you when excuses are available? Who are you when nobody believes in you? Who are you when results are delayed? The answers reveal your true identity. Not what you say. Not what you hope. Not what you intend. What you consistently do. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. One of the most powerful identities you can develop is this. I am someone who does not quit. Think about how transformative that identity can become. Challenges arrive. You continue. Failure arrives. You continue. Fear arrives. You continue. Doubt arrives. You continue. Because quitting is no longer part of your self-image. Persistence becomes part of who you are. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Another powerful identity is, I am someone who keeps promises to myself. Imagine the confidence that creates. Every promise honored strengthens trust. Every commitment fulfilled strengthens belief. Every disciplined action strengthens character. Eventually, you no longer wonder whether you can rely on yourself. You know you can. Because you have proof. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. The world will always try to label you. Some people will define you by your mistakes. Others will define you by your failures. Others will define you by your past. Others will define you by their expectations. Do not allow them to decide who you are. You decide. You choose the standards. You choose the values. You choose the principles. You choose the identity. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. The strongest people in the world are not those who never struggle. They are those who know exactly who they are. Their values remain stable. Their character remains stable. Their commitment remains stable. Their principles remain stable. Even when circumstances change. That stability creates strength. That strength creates resilience. And that resilience creates freedom. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. As you continue your journey toward becoming mentally unbreakable, stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, who am I becoming? Stop asking, what if people doubt me? Start asking, am I staying true to my standards? Stop asking, what if things go wrong? Start asking, will I continue regardless? Because identity determines destiny. The person you become is ultimately more important than any goal you achieve. Goals come and go. Achievements come and go. Success comes and goes. But character remains. Build an identity that cannot be shaken. Become the person who stays disciplined. Become the person who faces fear. Become the person who learns from failure. Become the person who keeps moving forward. Become the person who refuses to surrender. And once that identity is established, something remarkable happens. Life still challenges you. People still doubt you. Failure still visits you. But none of those things have the power they once had. Because your confidence is no longer attached to circumstances. It is attached to character. It is attached to values. It is attached to who you have chosen to become. And that foundation cannot be easily shaken. Because mentally unbreakable people understand a truth that changes everything. Success is not what makes you strong. Identity makes you strong. And when your identity becomes stronger than your circumstances, you become capable of enduring almost anything. That is the power of building an identity that cannot be shaken. Chapter 10: Become impossible to defeat. This is the final lesson. The lesson that ties everything together. The lesson that separates those who quit from those who ultimately succeed. The lesson that turns ordinary people into mentally unbreakable people. Become impossible to defeat. Not because you never fail. Not because you never struggle. Not because life suddenly becomes easy. Become impossible to defeat because you refuse to quit. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Think about that for a moment. Most people define defeat incorrectly. They think defeat is failure. It is not. They think defeat is rejection. It is not. They think defeat is making mistakes. It is not. They think defeat is falling down. It is not. Real defeat happens when you stop getting back up. Real defeat happens when you surrender. Real defeat happens when you decide the struggle is no longer worth it. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Throughout this audiobook, you have learned powerful lessons. You learned that your mind is the battlefield. You learned that life is not supposed to be easy. You learned that pain can become a teacher. You learned to control your emotions. You learned to face rejection. You learned to stop depending on validation. You learned to trust discipline. You learned to learn from failure. You learned to build an identity that cannot be shaken. Now all those lessons combine into one final truth. Keep going. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They faced obstacles. They experienced doubt. They suffered setbacks. They encountered failure. They made mistakes. They experienced moments when quitting would have been easier. The difference was not talent. The difference was not luck. The difference was endurance. They stayed in the fight longer. They refused to surrender. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Life is not a sprint. Life is an endurance test. Many people start strong. Few people continue when things become difficult. Many people feel motivated at the beginning. Few people remain committed when motivation disappears. Many people dream. Few people persist. The winners are often not the smartest, not the strongest, not the most talented. They are often simply the people who kept going. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. There will be days when progress feels invisible. Days when your efforts seem meaningless. Days when nobody notices your work. Days when doubt becomes loud. Days when frustration tries to convince you to stop. Those are the moments that matter most. Because persistence is not tested when everything is going well. Persistence is tested when everything becomes difficult. Anyone can continue when they feel inspired. The mentally unbreakable continue when they don't. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Imagine two people standing at the same mountain. One climbs halfway and turns back. The other continues. The first person may have had more talent, more intelligence, more natural ability. But none of that matters if they stop climbing. The second person reaches the summit because they refuse to stop. Persistence often beats talent. Consistency often beats intensity. Endurance often beats brilliance. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. The truth is that every meaningful goal will test you. Every dream demands sacrifice. Every achievement requires struggle. Every transformation requires discomfort. You cannot avoid these realities. The question is not whether challenges will appear. The question is how you will respond when they do. Will you retreat? Or will you continue? As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Think about everything you have survived already. The disappointments, the failures, the heartbreaks, the losses, the mistakes, the difficult seasons. You are still here. You survived every challenge that once seemed impossible. You endured moments you thought would break you. Yet somehow you continued. That is evidence of strength. That is proof of resilience. That is proof that you are capable of more than you realize. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. The mentally unbreakable understand something powerful. They do not wait for confidence before taking action. They take action and build confidence. They do not wait until fear disappears. They move forward despite fear. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They create progress under imperfect conditions. Because they understand that action creates momentum. And momentum creates strength. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. One day, life will place you in a situation where every excuse feels justified. You will feel exhausted, discouraged, frustrated, tempted to surrender. That day will reveal who you really are. Not your intentions, not your goals, not your dreams, your character. And in that moment, remember everything you have learned. Control your thoughts. Accept difficulty. Learn from pain. Master your emotions. Face rejection. Ignore validation. Trust discipline. Learn from failure. Build your identity. Then take one more step forward. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. You do not need to move fast. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to eliminate every weakness. You simply need to continue. One step, one decision, one action, one day at a time. Progress compounds. Strength compounds. Confidence compounds. Resilience compounds. The person who continues eventually becomes someone extraordinary. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of persistence. A stronger version. A wiser version. A more disciplined version. A more confident version. A more resilient version. That version of you is not created overnight. It is created through thousands of small decisions. Thousands of moments where you chose to continue. Thousands of moments where you refused to surrender. Thousands of moments where you kept moving forward. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Remember this for the rest of your life. Failure is temporary. Pain is temporary. Fear is temporary. Doubt is temporary. Discomfort is temporary. But quitting can make those temporary experiences permanent. Never allow a temporary feeling to make a permanent decision. Keep moving. Keep building. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep fighting. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. The world will not always reward you immediately. Results may take longer than expected. Recognition may never come when you want it. Progress may feel slower than you hoped. Continue anyway. Because your commitment should never depend on immediate rewards. Your commitment should depend on the person you have chosen to become. And mentally unbreakable people do not stop because progress is slow. They stop only when the mission is complete. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Now you stand at the end of this journey. But this is not really an ending. It is a beginning. A beginning of a stronger mindset. A beginning of greater discipline. A beginning of deeper resilience. A beginning of a new identity. From this day forward, challenges will still come. Life will still test you. Fear will still appear. Failure will still visit. But now you know something that many people never learn. You are stronger than circumstances. You are stronger than setbacks. You are stronger than temporary failures. You are stronger than fear. And most importantly, you have the power to keep going. As long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated. Never forget those words. Carry them into every challenge. Carry them into every setback. Carry them into every difficult season. Carry them into every dream you pursue. Because the moment you decide that quitting is no longer an option, something remarkable happens. Life may still knock you down, but it can no longer keep you there. And when you reach that point, when you continue despite fear, when you continue despite pain, when you continue despite doubt, when you continue despite failure, when you continue despite everything trying to stop you, you become something rare. You become something powerful. You become mentally unbreakable. And as long as you refuse to quit, you cannot be defeated.